Hey everyone! So, I'm finally back, and for this new hairstyle, I only found one other Lydia, and I was like, it's so similar to the others, and I don't really think I can do it with my hair length, so I'm just going to skip that one and move on. This one is Charlotte. This one is an amazing one, because unlike the others, this one can be done on any hair length, and any hair type. You don't need curly hair for this one. Wow. Thick hair would be preferable because the braids will look a little better, but you don't need it. Okay, so Charlotte has two hairstyles throughout the whole thing that I can find. They're very similar, so I'm just going to do them in one video because it's kind of dumb to do one video and then do another, and it's pretty much the same hairstyle. So, okay, how we're going to do it, we're going to start off first with all the hair parted. Just doing this to get the top a little smoothed down. We're going to part this about this much of the hair. It's probably good enough on that side, and same thing on the other side. Yeah, you want it pretty even. And if you have thin hair, you might want to take a little more in, so that way your braids don't look so thin. So yeah, this will be pretty good, I think. And now for the rest of the hair, we're just going to pull it back into a medium ponytail about that high. And we'll worry about that section later. Okay, now this part is the important part. Depends on which style you want to do. Okay, she has two styles. The one is the style that she is always wearing, like for every ball she attends, parties. And then she has one other different style. I had to search really long to find this one. This one is right after she's accepted Collins' proposal, and she's talking to Lizzie. Okay, so to do that one, we're going to do that one first on this side. And then I'll show you on this other side. Or wait, maybe, I think I'll just show you the different variations you can do. Okay, so for her ball hairstyle, the fancier one, well, they're probably about even in fanciness, but for a special occasion one, you start way up here. You don't take all of it. You take about half, and then you kind of French braid here. You divide it into 3 sections, and you start to braid. But you take really large chunks. You're going to add everything in very quickly. You're only going to add like 3 times. So make sure you get all the hair in there. See? Just like that. We just want to do it that way because her braid starts really far up. And that's the only way I could figure out that they did it, was that they just did like a French braid. It's possible they did differently, but when I tried to do it without French braiding, it looked weird. There we go. And then just braid this on down to the end. Okay. Just a little further. It's not important to braid it all the way to the ends. But, right. Now if you need to, just put an elastic in that. I'm going to leave it because my hair is amazing and stays braided. Okay, so the difference on this side, I'll show you how you can do it differently. I'm going to do it the same on this side as I did on this side, so then I don't look lopsided. But if you want to do the letter hairstyle, how you'll do that is you'll start the braid partway down. Like you'll start it right here and braid down like that. So it'll look like that. Okay? Cool. Okay, so I'm going to braid this side, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. We look a little strange here, but have faith, it will look good. Okay, for this part, now this is the same for no matter what style you do. If you do your braids differently here, it has no effect on what you do with the ponytail. The ponytail is the exact same. What we're going to do with that is we're going to divide it and braid it. Now, the thicker your hair is, the more braids you can get out of this. My hair isn't particularly thick, so I'm going to divide it into 3 and braid 3 different sides. Oh, a little section there. Whatever. Okay, so, and it doesn't have to be 3 perfectly even sections, because what you're going to do is just wrap these around into a bun, so it doesn't really matter so much if the braids are all the same size, because nobody's really going to tell in the end. So we're just going to braid these sections. Yes, lots of braiding on these. So you might want a little bit longer hair, you know, for length, but you don't need particularly long hair. You could do this with short hair. Just make a whole bunch of little braids and twist them around into a bun, and that would work fine. Just make sure you have hair long enough to do this thing, just enough to reach back. You'll see that in a minute, though. So we're just braiding like this, and yes, you will notice that my braids will begin to turn all over the place. That is because when I curled my hair when it was wet, I curled it all in one direction on one side and one direction on the other, so the result is a braid that curls, but it'll come into style one day, I'm sure. Nice to think it, but probably wouldn't. Whatever. Okay, and I'll just braid the last one and we'll be back. Okay, we're finally done. Just braiding on down to the end. Now, we have this whole mess of braids. That's where we should be right about now. Now what we're going to do, first of all, this is same for whatever style you're doing. As I said before, we're going to start with a bun. So we're just going to wrap around. Wrap one braid around the hairband. I like to do that first because it makes sure we got it covered. It's always nice to have little bases. I'm going to just stick in a couple pins. Depending upon your hair type and length, put in as many as you like. I'm going to put in 4 to make sure it's extra safe. Secure. You want a nice, good start. And now you're just going to wrap another bun around or on top, whatever. However thick your braid was. Like if you have a really thin braid, you may want your second braid to be kind of wrapped around it. The last braid definitely has to be wrapped on the top, because that'll give you a little bit more height. Figure out a way to tuck in this end. Okay, so now, this is the part where it varies from style to style, depending upon how you did your braid. If you did your braids the way I did, with a little bit of a French braid, what you're going to do is you're going to take it like this, and you're going to wrap it up around the braid, around the bun, and go, oh, the braid here didn't pin down. Okay, so you're going to take this and wrap it up around, get your bobby pin through it, kind of tuck the end down and pin it like that. Okay, so it should look like that. And then on the other side you do the exact same thing. You wrap it around like that. So this is how we go. Now, if you did your braid differently, if you did it with the lower braid, what you're going to do instead is, clean out my brush there, you take the braid like this, and instead of going up, you go down and wrap it around like that. Down, wrap it around like that. There. Like that. I'll have pictures of that one right at the end with the actual braid, with the low braid and all that. But there's our Charlotte hairstyle. She had only 2, as I said, so that's all we have for her. The next one's probably going to be Lizzie. I don't know. Maybe I might do Mrs. Hurst because she has the most beautiful hairstyle. Oh, I love her hairstyle. Very similar to this, but fancier and so amazing. Yeah. So, yeah.